Zacks Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. This week, we are revisiting the Filtered Zacks Rank number 2 with Kevin Matras, our top stock screener here at Zacks.com, head of our Research Wizard division. So is this something that comes loaded with the Research Wizard? Or do you have, it's like a filter, it's an extra, you have to like screw it onto an attachment or something?
Yeah, no screwing on. No, the strategy does indeed come loaded with the program, and it's one of the most popular strategies. And I think you and I actually talked about this back in, I think it was June 16th or something like that, a couple of months ago. And I wanted to kind of revisit this strategy to kind of update the performance because it really has been doing fantastic.
Okay. Well, the Alzheimer's is setting in, so I don't remember any of it.
Nice.
So
I'm sure that'll kick in for me later on. What's interesting, though, is, when we talked about it in June, prior to that, the last time I had spoken about the strategy was all the way back in October of 2007. Right before the bear market had hit. Mm-hmm. And when we were talking about it then, I had said that this strategy, if you were to look at it from 2000 through September of 2007, at that point it was around nearly 8 years, the strategy had shown an average annual return of 72.7% per year. Now, 2008, of course, was a tough year, and that's just part of trading, but there's always going to be challenges, when you're trading, no matter what's happening. But when you are focusing on a proven, profitable trading strategy, that really can increase your odds of success. Okay. And when we talked about it before, it's always good to mention it again. Trading a proven, profitable strategy is different than trading a box of magic. This is not going to preclude you from ever having another losing trade. Mm-hmm. But again, you want to make sure that if you're following a proven set of tested rules that will typically pick more winning stocks than losers, that is something you want to focus on, and that's why we always come down here and kind of review a lot of these winning strategies.
All right, I know you told me that the last time we spoke about it, it was doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. I'll take your word for it, because as I said, I don't remember any of that. How's it been doing since then?
Well, for review, when we talked about it back in June, I think the strategy, by the way, this strategy uses a 1-week holding period, so you're rebalancing it on a weekly basis, always trying to find what new stocks are coming through the screen. Mm-hmm. But back then, I think the strategy was showing over a 55% return, compounded return, and that was just through the middle part of June. And that's pretty impressive when you stop to consider that at that point, the S&P was only up 2.1%. But this year, right now, if you were to look at the strategy through the 3rd week of September, the strategy is up a whopping 91.3% versus the S&P's only 16.7%. In fact, let me show you this performance chart. So check this out. You can see what a smooth ride this strategy has provided. So you were barely underwater when the market was collapsing, but look at how that strategy has rebounded, and it really has been probably one of the most painless strategies and one of the most painless ways to really take advantage of really a historical market this year. Mm-hmm. Now again, this strategy holds 5 stocks in your portfolio at a time. It's a very easy strategy to trade, but like I said, you are going to be rebalancing your portfolio on a weekly basis. If you're an active trader, you will absolutely love this strategy. But even if you're not an active trader, just seeing the kinds of stocks that are coming through is very, very exciting, and you can decide which ones you want to get into. So,
all right, well, give us those parameters. Don't keep us in suspense any longer.
There are 3 parameters that go into this screen, so it's very, very simple, but very, very powerful. So check it out. The first parameter is we're starting off with the Zacks rank, and you want to find companies with a Zacks rank of a 1. As everybody knows, the Zacks rank is one of the best ranking systems out there since 1988, which is over 21 years. The average return for the Zacks #1 ranked stocks is over 26.3% a year. So that is a spectacular return, and this really does help turn the odds in your favor since you're picking from a list of high probability stocks. But then we narrow it down. And the next item is we're looking for the percent change in the current quarter estimates over the last 4 weeks, and we want that to be greater than 0. Now, as everybody knows, the Zacks Rank already looks at the current year's estimate revisions and the next year's estimate revisions, but this item, this added component, is kind of cool because that focuses in on the most immediate future, which is the current quarter estimates. So this helps narrow that list down a lot more as well. Then we finish it off by looking at the percent change in the average broker rating over a 1-week period, and we're looking for the top 5 stocks. What that means is this: we are looking for the 5 stocks with the best change in their average broker rating. Once again, we want to make sure brokers are upgrading their rating on these stocks. Now again, as I've said in numerous pieces before, I don't really care so much what the absolute value is on the broker ratings, but I do want to make sure that the brokers are getting more bullish on these stocks and not more bearish. So by putting all of these things together, it is a very, very powerful combination.
All right. And how many stocks came through this week?
As we said, this strategy always produces 5 stocks.
Okay.
I got 3 of them here for you today.
All right.
We've got BlackRock, that is one of the companies. Another one is MicroStrategy, and another one is Seagate Technologies. 3 very different companies, but what's interesting is that these companies, what they all have in common is they're all coming from a very, very consistently and proven profitable strategy, and that is cause to put these kinds of stocks on your radar screen.
Do you own any of these?
Do not have those.
All right. Why only 5? Can you give me a quick reason why only 5?
You know, we have some strategies because if, let's say, you have a screen and it produces, 60 stocks or let's say 30 stocks, in order to recreate a strategy, you need to follow that strategy as it is coming out. And if you don't have the ability of buying 15 stocks or 30 stocks or 60 stocks or whatever, there's no way you're going to be able to replicate that strategy.
Okay.
So by focusing on a very narrow list of stocks, it's very easy for an investor to implement that in his own portfolio. But the investor can say, okay, instead of 5, I want to have 10 stocks or I want to have 7 stocks or whatever. And that's why we focus on a very manageable list.
Makes sense. Check out those other 2 stocks that came through this screen in the text version of Kevin's Screen of the Week. It's on Zacks.com right now. You can link to it right from the homepage, headline next to Kevin's picture. And if you want to find out more about the Research Wizard, Zacks.com/Research Wizard is where you should go. With Kevin Matras and the Screen of the Week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.